Here's a number that will change how you think about money forever. $100,000. Not because it's a lot, not because it makes you rich, but because of what happens after you get there. Most people spend their entire 20s and 30s chasing this number, grinding away, saving $50 here, $100 there, feeling like they're barely moving. And then one day, something strange happens. The money starts moving on its own. But we'll get to that. First, let me ask you something. If I told you that the hardest part of building wealth isn't saving money, isn't picking the right investments, isn't even earning more, but something completely invisible that nobody ever talks about, would you believe me? Because here's the truth. Most people never reach $100,000 not because they don't earn enough. They never reach it because of how they think about getting there.
Let's paint a picture you've probably lived before. You get your paycheck. You feel good for about 48 hours. Then rent hits, then groceries, then that subscription you forgot about, then your friend's birthday dinner. And by day 10 of the month, you're already doing mental math, wondering how the money just disappeared. Sound familiar? Here's the story most people tell themselves. I'll start saving seriously when I earn more, when I get that promotion, when I pay off this debt, when life settles down a little. But here's the cruel joke. When the raise comes, the lifestyle expands with it. Suddenly you need a better car because you're earning more, a nicer apartment because you deserve it, better clothes because you're at a different level now. Economists have a name for this. They call it lifestyle inflation. And it is silently the number one reason why people who earn decent money still feel broke. The problem was never the income. The problem is the gap between what you earn and what you keep. And until you fix that gap, no salary in the world will save you. So let's talk about the first $100,000 and why this number specifically matters more than any other financial milestone you'll ever hit. There's a famous quote often credited to Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's business partner, who said that the first $100,000 is the hardest. After that, you just get out of the way. What does that mean exactly? Think of it like pushing a snowball up a hill. In the beginning, the ball is small and the hill feels steep. Every push takes enormous effort and the ball barely moves. You're saving, you're sacrificing, you're doing everything right, and the number still climbs slowly. It feels discouraging. It feels like it's not working. But once you get that snowball to the top of the hill, once you cross $100,000, something magical shifts. The snowball starts rolling downhill on its own. Gravity takes over. That's compounding. And it is, without question, the most powerful force in personal finance. Here's a simple example. Let's say you invest $100,000 at a 10% annual return, which is roughly the historical average of the stock market. In year one, you earn $10,000 doing absolutely nothing. $10,000 for existing. But here's where it gets interesting. That $10,000 gets added to your pile. Now you have $110,000 earning 10%. Next year, you make $11,000, then $12,100, then $13,310. The number keeps growing not because you added more money, but because the money you already have is working for you. This is why the first $100,000 is the hardest and the most important. It's the threshold where compounding stops being a math concept and starts being something you can actually feel in your bank account.
Now here's the part nobody tells you. The math is easy. The psychology is brutal. Here's what actually stops people from reaching $100,000, and it has nothing to do with spreadsheets. The first thing is called present bias. Human brains are wired to value today more than tomorrow. It's not laziness, it's biology. Our ancestors needed to find food now, not plan for next season. But in the modern world, this same instinct makes spending feel more real than saving. Buying something today gives you an instant emotional reward. Saving that same money gives you a number on a screen that feels abstract and far away. This is why saving feels painful, even when you know it's right. Your brain isn't broken, it's just old. The second trap is called the comparison trap. Social media has made this 10 times worse. You see your coworker buying a new car, your college friend posting vacation photos, your neighbor renovating their kitchen, and somewhere in your brain a quiet voice says, "Am I falling behind?"
And so you spend. Not because you needed to, but because watching others spend makes standing still feel like losing. Here's the painful truth about that. Most of the people who look wealthy on the outside are quietly broke on the inside. Studies consistently show that the majority of people who drive luxury cars and live in expensive homes are not millionaires. They're performing wealth rather than building it. Real wealth is boring. Real wealth is invisible. Real wealth is the person at the dinner table who says nothing when someone brags about their new purchase because they quietly have more money than everyone in the room combined. The third trap is what I call the someday illusion. People plan to save someday, when things are more stable, when the timing is better. But time is the one resource you cannot buy back. Every year you delay starting is a year of compounding you'll never get. A 25-year-old who starts investing has a wildly different outcome than a 35-year-old investing the exact same amount. Not a little different, dramatically different. The decade lost in the middle is often worth hundreds of thousands of dollars by retirement.
So how do you actually save your first $100,000? Here's a framework that actually works. Step 1. Decide the number first, then build your life around it. Most people spend first and save whatever's left. The secret is to flip this completely. Before you pay any bill, before you buy anything, move a fixed percentage of your income straight into savings or investments. Treat it like a bill you owe yourself. Even if it's 10%, even if it's 5%, the habit matters more than the amount at the beginning. Step 2. Make the invisible visible. Most people don't know where their money goes, not because they're careless, but because money moves fast and invisibly in the modern world. Spend 1 week tracking every single purchase, not to judge yourself, just to see. You will find money leaking in places you completely forgot about. Subscriptions, impulse buys, small daily purchases that feel harmless but add up to hundreds every month. Step 3. Create one big win instead of 100 small cuts. Personal finance advice loves to say skip the latte. And while small habits do matter, the bigger opportunity is in the big decisions. Your housing, your car, your phone plan. These 3 categories alone often make up 60 to 70% of what most people spend. One good decision in any of these areas saves you more in a year than skipping coffee for a decade. Look for the big lever, not just the tiny ones.
Step 4. Give your savings a job. Money sitting in a regular bank account is money slowly losing value to inflation. Once you've built a small emergency fund, everything beyond that should be doing something. Index funds, a retirement account, something that earns a return. You don't need to be a financial expert to do this. Simple, low-cost index funds have consistently outperformed the majority of professional fund managers over long time periods. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent. Let time do the heavy lifting. Step 5. Protect the gap fiercely. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is your most important financial asset. Guard it like it's your most valuable possession, because it is. Every lifestyle upgrade you make before you hit $100,000 is a direct attack on your future wealth. That doesn't mean live miserably. It means choose deliberately. Ask yourself with every major spending decision, is this moving me closer to the snowball, or am I choosing today's comfort over tomorrow's freedom?
Here's the thought I want to leave you with. The first $100,000 isn't really about money. It's about proving something to yourself. It's about demonstrating that you can delay gratification, ignore the noise, and play a longer game than most people around you are willing to play. Because once you hit that number,
two things happen simultaneously. The math gets easier because compounding kicks in, and the psychology gets easier because you've already won the hardest internal battle. The world is full of people who understand money intellectually but never act on it. They know saving is important. They know compounding works. They know someday is a trap, and they still wait, still spend, still wonder why the number never grows. The people who actually build wealth aren't smarter. They're not luckier. They just started. They made the first uncomfortable decision, and then the second, and then the third, until the uncomfortable became automatic. Your first $100,000 is sitting on the other side of a decision you probably already know you need to make. The only question left is whether you make it today or keep waiting for the perfect moment that never comes.